Wow. Back on the interview train, shall I say. We're going to start firing these out for you guys. Our first stop, though, we're going to stop in Wheatley. Trist, who do we got here? Tell everybody who we got.
Today we've got the Wheatley Sharks assistant captain forward number 22, second on the team in points, the man himself, Shannon Olson. Shannon, how are you doing, buddy?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Living the dream.
Even
Yeah.
better now with the Lions, man. Let's
Uh,
go, baby.
Yeah. Should be a good one next week too. So
Oh, everybody's talking about this script crap. And I'm like, you know what? Like, just drop it. I'm so sick of freaking hearing about it.
if there was a script, and like whatever. I'm just happy we won 2 playoff games, and we're looking up from here.
Me too, man.
San Fran's a good team. So
Nah, whatever. Screw them.
Yeah, well, you guys have got the rose-colored lenses though. Like deep down, you know the Lions are gonna lose though. Like,
Tristan, we will fight.
listen, man, we already know it's gonna be Baltimore San Fran final. That's how it is. You already know it, Ant. You know it. I'm looking in your eyes right now.
Are you a script guy? Are you a script guy?
I'm not a script guy.
Oh,
That's
okay.
just the way it should be.
All right, all right.
But anyhow,
I'm
yeah.
I'm
So
gonna
I
go
guess.
to pocket and say the Chiefs and the Lions.
Ooh, I like that.
Ooh, all right.
First game of the year, and then the last game of the year. Same game.
Way to start, way to end it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
No,
If that's a script too, you never know.
Knows.
I love it.
But I guess I'll just start with the first question. So we always kind of do this with all interviews, Shannon. What started hockey off for you? Was it your dad? Like, what got you into hockey?
Uh, Probably my dad. It's a lot of people's normal answer. So I was in like leaf skier at like 1 years old, like however, but yeah,
Mhm.
started out in Kingsville and just kind of played Erie North Shore throughout. Stopped for 1 year in Bell River and been in Wheatley for 5 now. So
Oh, yeah, I was gonna
Right.
say you played the whole time there with the Sharks, right? But for the Erie North Shore, is that what it's called? Erie North Shore? Is that what it's called now?
yeah,
Okay, so you're a are you a Kingsville boy?
yeah, I'm Kingsville.
Okay, yeah. So Harrow and Kingsville
Yeah,
went to one
that
now, right?
that
How
happened
long
when I
ago was
was
that?
that happened when I was at a minor.
Oh,
So
okay.
I don't know what year that is
So
now.
probably like
I'm not, I'm
5 or
not
6 years
following.
ago. I'm the old guy here, so that's why
Yeah.
I'm saying. I'm just freaking
Yeah.
messing around. But
No, yeah.
yeah, they got
When
those
I was
bright yellow jerseys and stuff too, eh? Those are actually nice.
Yeah, they switched them like I think 3 or 4 times now. They kind of based them off Michigan at first, but like introverted, if
Oh,
you know
okay.
what I mean. Like the yellow was our white jersey,
Yeah.
and then the blue was the road. But then throughout the years, teams would get like third jerseys that were like white, and then now they completely switched the design again. But I honestly haven't kept up with minor hockey since I left.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I always kind of saw them as being kind of like the Predators. Like kind of like
Yeah,
that
kind of
that
that too.
deep blue, not quite navy blue, but then they had the bright like gold yellow. Um no, talk about I want to hear you were sending me back and forth some of your stats. Talk about your stat line through your
Yeah, no,
minor hockey days.
there was, I mean, in minor hockey, a lot of guys on our team had like over probably 40, 50 goals in our OMHA year. I think there was like 5 of us that did. But also we were playing like every other in the playoffs. Like games were like 6-4, 7-4, 7-5. Like in the OMHA finals, we tied a game 6-6, game 4
Mm.
through overtime. And yeah, I had decent numbers.
Yeah. I I hate that they do the freaking ties and playdowns. How do you do ties and especially in the finals?
Yeah. I That was bad because we were up 2-0 going there and we just had to win once in a weekend and we lost and tied,
Oh,
but they won the coin toss. So they do the coin toss thing in minor. This is back when it was like series. Like we had to go through like St. Thomas, which we were down 2-0 to, and we came back and reverse swept them in round 1. And then we beat Amherstburg, and then we beat Welland, and then we beat Center of Wellington, and then we played Aurelia in the final.
mm.
But they won the coin toss and they chose games 3, 4, 5. So then we had to go back the next weekend to Aurelia.
Oh,
But we took a bus there and we ended up winning that game. But I wasn't mad about the tie because worst comes to worst, you lose game 5 and you have game 6 in Kingsville on a Saturday night at 8:00. Like everybody was gonna be there. We already had a good enough pull throughout the year, so especially like the last game of the year. But that was a good year for me, and I have a lot of lifelong friends that I still hang out with like on the weekends and stuff that played on that team. So
you guys won it all, right?
yeah,
Have you only done it once, twice? Like how many times?
I've done it. That was my only time.
Okay.
And that was probably the best year to do it.
Oh yeah.
right on.
Statistic, like, because if you're 7 years old and you win it,
Yeah,
it's cool. But I was 6. We were all 16.
Yeah.
So that's what I like to say. I won it once and it was the best time to win it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I bet that created lots of memories, eh?
Yeah.
Any
Especially
cool stories from that?
Well, I don't if I can think of one maybe, but we took the bus home after we won.
Okay.
So, and with like and we had like a fan bus too. So we were all like drinking out of the cup, like water, because we were 16 at the time.
Just some ginger ale.
Yeah,
some ginger ale.
Yeah, but the one thing I will say is I do miss like going to tournaments sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know if I could play 5 games in 2 days.
You know what? That would be kind of cool though if they did something like that in junior C.
Yeah.
Like if they said, okay, well, there's like 60 plus teams in this league, but if you took like the top 3 teams from one division and made them play like the next adjoining division, so like next to us is the YEC, which is like London area.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Just like a little in-season tournament. Like I know the NBA does that now too.
I was gonna say Junior B kind of has like a little mini showcase.
Exactly.
They do like 2 games in one weekend, but it's like we'd play like Exeter and North Middlesex or something, and then like Amherstburg would play one of the bottom teams in the other division.
I don't even know who's down there, but actually Petrolia, they moved up there.
Yeah.
That's who it is. Yeah.
Yeah. I messed up that arena. That's a fun arena to go to play in.
Oh.
Because it's like the same size as Kingsville.
Yeah.
And Harrow. So like my first year going there, it was like I liked like playing in Moortown and not Wallaceburg, but Petrolia, because they were similar size to what I used to grow up on. But wasn't fun going to Moortown playing against Perry and Steves and all those guys.
Oh my god!
On a Saturday night, it was not fun.
Mm-hmm. I was gonna say when I was playing minor hockey, Harrow was still the Rams.
Yeah.
It was C, I believe. It wasn't A. Like it wasn't like single A.
Yeah, it was C because we were, I think, B.
Yeah,
Kingsville was B.
Yeah. That's probably why they said, here, let's put everybody together and just go up to A or whatever.
Well, now everyone's A, I think.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, they're all
besides LaSalle.
One thing I wanted to kind of ask you too is, have you always wore the fishbowl, or is that just something that you just started recently?
I started wearing it in like Bantam Minor. So like I'm too far in now, I think. Like I've worn a cage like once or twice and it's kind of weird now.
Why? Just like you don't like it because of the bars or something?
Yeah,
or
I focus more on the bars now than I used to before because I'm used to having like the shield. But I get asked that more than you think, and I just always say like I'm not going to change now. I don't really care.
Like you don't have any issues with like fog or like it like fogging up or anything like that on you?
The only time I do is like during practice.
Oh, okay.
Because in a game, like you're not skating around for more than like I don't take very long shifts. I take like 45 to a minute max. So it's because if you keep like stopping and starting and like drills and stuff, and then you go sit down on the bench for a second,
breathing heavy and
yeah, that's the only time it's given me issues. Or if it's really, really cold, like in the arena.
I used to wear one of those old school ones where it was like cage and like visor.
the high-
That
the
was
hybrid.
drip back in the day, fellas. Right there. That
hybrid.
was.
That's the steez, Ant. You're
Yeah.
rocking the hybrid.
Yeah. I have
That's
zero sty. Don't freaking worry. All right.
I'm not one with the sty either, so it's okay.
I'm all about
It doesn't
just go out
hurt
and play. Just go
much.
play.
Yeah, literally.
No, you're a trendsetter though, Ols, because now you got Bugsy on Essex. He's like full on this whole year. He's been wearing one. So.
Yeah, I did see him wearing it last time we played him, and we played him twice in like 8 days a couple of weeks ago. So I did see that.
Yeah, how'd those games go?
This fucking guy, eh? Always like this guy's always starting shit all the time.
I'm kidding. No, I don't know if there was ever.
I haven't played since.
Really?
Yeah, that's right. Tell us about that.
Yeah, we've only had 2 games since, and I got suspended in that last game for hitting Shark from behind. But
Oh, that was you?
yeah,
I was weren't we on the call for
You were
that
on the
game,
call,
Tristan?
Ant. You watched him get blasted.
I was like, who's down there getting cross-checked? It was you.
yeah. No,
Someone I forget who that was, man. They were giving it to you. I
It
was
was
like, my
Ballmer.
God. Who
yeah,
was it? Ballmer?
it was Ballmer.
That was some
He
mean
took off
cross-checks.
both my straps while I was on the ground. So if I turned around and looked up at him, I'd have got probably a face full of fist.
Yeah. Yeah, it's one of those just cover up.
Yeah, I was just like, you know what? I can't. If I turn, I'm dead. It's like in a UFC fight when the guy's like staring down at the guy, like I wouldn't have done anything. So the rest of the game wasn't good though. We killed off the 5-minute, but then you guys get 5-on-3. Actually, we good scored on the 5-minute.
Who scored that goal?
It was Goody.
Yeah,
and it was, I remember that goal. It was like rifled, like top shelf.
Oh, I even told you, Ant, when we were on the call. I said watch out for Isaac LeGood's speed on the short-ended. Same thing in Essex. Like his off the rush, his shot.
Yeah.
It's scary.
Yeah.
Like he had the hardest shot on Essex last year, I think, out of anybody, but it's deadly. Like he always sends the water bottle a good 3 feet in the air.
Yeah. And it was with like 0.3 on the clock too, I think.
Yeah, it was a nice shot, man. Beautiful.
I was like, and you know what the funny thing is? I was saying to Ant too, I said, if there was one guy on that team who could have made it across the blue line to get a shot off, Goody was the only guy on Wheatley. Maybe Cat, but like
yeah, it wasn't me. It wouldn't be me. Maybe
you never know.
If Hammer had the puck full speed, he probably could.
He can move too.
Yeah.
He puts the puck in between a guy's legs and then flattens him every time.
Yeah.
It's legal. It's there. Puck's there.
No, you were talking about though if you had turned around, he would have clocked you. Have you ever been in a scrap?
No.
No, really?
Yeah.
Anybody ask you to?
I don't. Oh yeah. Fields every time we play.
Fieldsy, eh? A little feisty.
But part of it's probably him trying to get in my head a little bit, and part of it he probably wants to kill me, but I'd rather stay in the game.
Mm-hmm. He can scrap too, man.
Yeah, he's in. Yeah.
He can
Well,
go.
you're a pretty big guy though too, no?
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
You're like what, 6'2"?
Yeah.
Yeah. You
I
got
say
size.
you've played junior C now for like 5 years. Have you had any fights in the 5 years or no?
No.
Not one, eh?
No.
Don't like to.
It's coming.
If you looked at my penalty minutes, I don't think I've passed 20 in a year. Maybe now because of the hit from behind.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, get this guy a Lady Bink trophy, most gentlemanly player.
That's
not
funny though, Fields.
But also, yeah.
So throughout your career, you've had, respectively, this is going back to the 2019-20 season, so just prior to COVID, you've had 9 goals in your first year, then 12, then 10. Now we're only just over halfway through the season. You've already got 19. So big jump in scoring. But what is your favorite goal that you've scored? We'll include the playoffs too. What is your favorite goal that you have scored throughout your junior career?
Well, my first goal was in Petrolia, but I don't know if it was my favorite goal because I kind of like got the puck on the behind the net and I just banked it off the goalie's back and in instead of taking it around the net.
Yeah.
But
That's why
Yeah.
they don't ask how, they ask how many.
Yeah. The last year when we played Lakeshore in the series, I had a nice goal. Not a nice goal. I tipped it in, but we were down 2-1 halfway through the third period. And then Greener scored the next shift after that. And then Sladode scored with less than a minute left. And then Cat scored 17 seconds into OT. So that was a good third period back and forth, but
You guys gave them all they can handle too last year. Like you guys pushed them to the brink.
The game 1, 2, and 6 we did. Game 3, 4, 5. 5 we were all right. Game 3 and 4 they cakewalked us.
Mm-hmm.
There's such a weird team to play against because you can tell like when they're on, and especially with that coach at Quina, like the team chemistry, it's the best in the league. They've made like slight changes, but they've never been like a complete revamp of the roster like Essex has done. Even you guys have been pretty conservative with moves, I'd say. Like your top 6, aside from this year where you guys obviously bring in Hammer and LeGood, Essex couldn't keep them, and now Droulard. You guys are racking up quite a few 73s over there, eh? But
yeah, we had Pelling at one point. I know he didn't play like that many games, but
and Daly too, Anderson.
Dallas, yeah. So
there you go, man.
Yeah, those are probably the 2 goals I'd say that I remember most. But I'd actually have to like look back at like the stat sheet to like remember how I scored in certain games because like my first season, like you said, I had 9 goals. I don't remember like anything besides the first, really.
How did you end up with the Sharks in the first place? Like, did they scout you? Did they approach you? Did you go to a camp? Like, how did all that start?
I went to like when you're in midget or Bantam midget minor, the year we were playing when I won OMHAs, each junior team normally just sends out like, here, come to camp. Like, obviously I'm not going to make it as a 16-year-old, but it'd be cool to get my name in somewhere. And then I went to Essex, Amherstburg, and Wheatley was the only one that offered me an AP spot. So then I played another year in Erie North Shore, and then the following year I signed after an exhibition game in Amherstburg.
That's awesome.
It's kind of, I only went out to like practice once the year before. Like it's not like a cool story. It's just how probably 90% of the kids get signed. Like,
and what would you attribute that signing to? Like, was you just outworked the other guys, or did you have flashes of talent that they were like, "Hey, we like this about your game"? Like, did they ever verbally say, "This is what you bring to this team"?
Kinda. They wanted me to be more physical, which has been like a trend throughout my junior hockey because I'm known not the guy that hits a lot, soft. So, but yeah, they want to be more physical, so I kind of went out there, threw hits, and then started on the 4th line for the first 20 games of the first year. Like you got to work your way up. You don't expect to walk in there, especially after coming off like 2 really good years in minor hockey, playing like 20, 25 a night, and then just going, I'm playing like 7, not even some nights. But then guys get injured, guys get suspended, you work your way up the lineup, and then I just kept playing good enough to sustain a role throughout the year.
Attaboy.
You guys' freaking staff. I love the staff with Josh and, Goose and like those guys. Like, I seriously love those guys.
Yeah. I've had Josh the whole time he was there, so I like Josh. I like Goose.
I wonder how long Josh has been there in total. I know it's been a while.
I think he got there the year before, like when Kat was 16.
Oh, okay. So he's been there probably 5-6 years now, probably
6. Yeah, because the year before Card was 16-year-old and Carney wasn't the coach that year.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Okay. Now, I don't want to speak or have you speak on his behalf. We'll have him on eventually, but with Kat, he made Wheatley as a 16-year-old, but then he went up for the Vipers, right?
The Maroons.
Maroons, okay. He had a really good time there too before he came back.
Yeah. And then he came back with Gualtieri.
That's right.
At the deadline that year. But that year the league was really competitive. Like 1 through like 6 or 7 were like good. Like now it's kind of like there's a lot of separation.
Yeah.
But we're not going to take anything for granted no matter who we play in the first round for sure. Like,
Yeah.
Moortown is a good team, and right now we're slated to play them. Like, Chartrand could steal a series.
Yeah. He almost did it
Yeah.
against Essex last year.
Yeah.
Like big
Oh.
time. Like we both know John really well. Like he's a good character, but man, that guy works like crazy in games. Against Essex, he was just each game should have been
Yeah,
like
did
5 or
they
6
tie?
to 1.
Mhm.
They tied
Yeah.
one, right?
Yeah, they did.
Oh, yeah, they tied one.
in
I think
Moortown.
we won one in overtime too here.
We did. We were down 2-0 the whole most of the
Yeah.
game. And then Halsey scored with like 4 minutes left. And I think Shirky tied it
Yeah.
with like
Okay.
20 seconds left, and then we went to OT and Pick ended it. He was left all alone in front. You guys had a nice victory in Essex. Talk about that game actually. I want to hear what goes into your mind when you're playing a team like Essex or Lakeshore and you pull off a big one, because I know you guys have handed Lakeshore their only loss outside of Essex this year, which was the 3-0 shutout open the season.
Yeah. I mean, you got to play almost like a perfect game. Not like to a sense perfect, because those guys are going to go out there and work hard. They have a good system, each team, especially with them bringing in the new coach. Like, I feel like Essex got more defensive.
Mhm.
You don't see these like 8-1 blowouts anymore that they were having at the start of the year. It's more like a 4-1, 3-1, because I feel like they're focusing more on their own end, and then the offensive zone will come. But we're good on the road, but we haven't been great at home, which is kind of surprising. Like, I don't know if you can look at our record, Tristan. We're like 12-2-1 and 1 on the road or something, and then we're like 8-7 at home, maybe.
You guys,
correct.
you guys are 8-7 at home and 12-2-1-1 away. So terrific road record, but the home is a little
Which
shaky.
is weird. Which is weird because that's normally an advantage for us. Like, I don't know if you guys have been out to Wheatley to watch a game in the playoffs and stuff. Like,
It's awesome.
Yeah, and like not a lot of people have much else to do on Wednesdays.
Mhm.
It's like with Essex on Tuesday though. Like, everybody goes out there. Like, it's a good day of the week to host a home game.
Mhm. I was gonna say,
But I know we play Essex one more time in Wheatley, and it's on a Saturday.
we were at your home opener this year because you guys had us in, didn't you?
Yeah.
I think it was that was I think that was your first like home game this year.
Yeah,
that barn's sweet. I like that barn. It's like an old school barn. Like, it's always a good time in Wheatley.
It's kind of it's like a replica of Blenheim and Dresden.
Yeah.
They all have the same kind of structure,
Actually,
but
kind of, yeah, Dresden for sure, yeah.
Blenheim kind of has like higher stands.
Mhm.
I don't like going to Blenheim. I've been to Blenheim. I watched Essex lose back-to-back last year to them after their cruise. They always seem to have a bit of a carryover from that cruise that negatively affects them. But yeah, they're a hard barn to play in because they've got that guy who's like their own gritty that I want to put in a half Nelson.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. That thing, I know it's Brutus Blade. That's it. Brutus Blade.
Yeah.
Oh my. Flem, I was talking about Flem, and Flem's like, I'm gonna wait for the day they leave the door open and just fire it at that guy as he walks by. I don't even know who's in it. I went down.
I hope they get paid.
I remember Essex lost, and I'm leaving there with my dad. We happened to go watch Essex on the road. We're like, why the heck not? We're leaving, and he's like patting all the Blades fans on the back. We're all celebrating. He sees us wearing our Essex stuff, goes to shake our hand, and then gives us like the too slow, like the hand through the hair. And I'm like, all right, bud, like, get out of here.
Yeah, I would have knocked him on his ass.
Yeah.
But yeah, playing. Sorry.
No, you go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, I like Wheatley a lot. If there's any team, and I've said this when we had Squid on, any team I cheer for aside from Essex, it's always gonna be Wheatley. Because I knew Chittle when Chittle was there. I know Flem now. I know you. I know Kat. We knew Carve. Like, you guys are just an awesome team because you play hockey the right way. You aren't dirty most of the time. Shirky felt the other part of the time, but no, it's just a fun team to watch because you guys, yeah, you play hockey the right way, and why not root for like I don't want to see the underdog, but you guys are always you're not in Essex or Lakeshore, right?
Yeah.
But you're still in that upper echelon of the
Yeah.
league. I like cheering for that. I'm like, yeah, I can root for these guys because there's not a mean soul on your team.
Mhm.
Especially, yeah, I don't mind being the underdog either.
Sometimes
I
it's better to
wasn't
be.
trying to
If
undersell.
we get through round one, it's everybody is expecting Essex Lakeshore. Why not Wheatley?
Exactly. That's what I mean. And it's anything can happen in the playoffs, man.
Yeah.
It's a whole new
yeah.
season.
I want to win. I mean, it's the 02 year for OA. So
Hmm.
that's my thought process that's what it's been this year.
Listen, I want that for you guys so bad. Well, I want like a game 7 Essex Wheatley final, maybe, with Essex getting on
Yeah.
the right side. But like, oh, speaking of game 7s, or well, actually, I think it was a game 6, but played longer than a game 7. I know you didn't want to talk about this,
No,
but
it's fine.
talk about that game 6 last year versus Lakeshore. What was it, 6 or 7 overtimes? What did it get to?
5,
Just
5,
that was
okay.
crazy.
but it was like, it was a long night.
Talk
I think
about
the
it,
game
man.
ended almost at like 1 a.m. And like it started at 7:30, so it was like 3-3, I think, but or 4. It was 4-4
Okay.
going into overtime, but it was like back and forth in the third. I think it was like 2-2 going into the third, maybe.
Mhm.
And yeah, nobody just wanted to score. I guess they wanted to keep the bar running for as long as possible.
I could not believe that. But so one thing that I will ask you then is when you as this game's going on and it's like the second overtime, the third overtime, like you're getting into the fourth, like what's the vibe in the room? Like what are the guys saying? Are we like stretching out? Are we eating something? Like what are we doing in
Yeah,
between periods?
like we were just eating like bananas, pickles,
Just
chocolate bar.
so you don't cramp up.
Yeah. Oh, I know I was cramping. I'm not sure about everybody else. I think a lot because we were only playing 3 lines at the time too, both teams. So it wasn't like I get a normal amount of rest either. Plus, it's a 20-minute period, so you have like what 12 minutes to recover and then go back out. But you're on the bench for a minute and a half, and you're out there. Like some guys were just taking like 15-second shifts at one point because like you try to skate and your legs would like cramp. Like you'd sit down on the bench and you're like, oh my god, yeah.
Oh, I can't even imagine your feet after you took off your skates.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
It's not like a sore spot for me. It was just like we had a good team, and if we would have won that game, who knows like what would have happened in Lakeshore? Because that would have been a sold out crowd for sure.
Yeah, I've
And
never.
we travel well for playoff games, especially around here.
yeah.
I don't know if we had like a game 7 in Moortown, how many more people would show up than, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Game
Yeah.
7s in Moortown get hairy, let me tell you. Things get a little sketchy out that way, but
I thought they went to 6 last year.
it was 6, but it was Essex won obviously, and then Halsey had the issue with the minor penalty in it's like stick and
I don't
fractions.
care. I'll say it flat out. That was horse shit. I don't care. I'll say it.
That was so
Whatever.
bad, man. Like
It was bullshit.
Essex, yeah, and then it was listed as a 2-0 win. I guess I looked through the rule book. Any kind of a game with an overturned score for like a legal player automatically is 2-0. I don't know why that is.
Yeah, that's weird.
Like it's not 1-0 or just like list.
Who'd you
Yeah,
credit the
listed
goal
no
to?
goal scorer. And they change it. The weird thing is they don't list goal scorers,
Oh,
but they will change it for the goalie for a shutout. So Shark Train got a shutout that game, and he's like, "I'll take it. That's clutch.
Yeah.
Like, let's go." And then they lost. Like he almost stole that game again. I was like, I do not want to go to a game 7 versus Moortown where like I'll be completely honest, they had nothing aside from him. Their offense was zero. Like they had the one guy, Logan
Gardner.
Can't remember his name. Gardner, that was it. Yeah, Gardner. He had a good shot. Skated like molasses, but
I think he was hurt. I don't
yeah,
know though.
and
He looked
that
kind
other
of
kid,
slow.
they said he was suspended for
Janine.
hitting. Yeah, Brody Janine. Yeah, they said he was suspended, and then 5 minutes before the game, he shows up in a jersey for
Yeah.
warm-ups. I'm like, why was his suspension overturned? Now Hall's up in the stands. Like, something's not right here. But anyway,
Yeah.
we'll get back to Wheatley. So obviously, like you said, it's a sore spot. What do you guys have to do differently this year? Because as it shapes up right now, it's pretty tight between Essex uh, and Lakeshore. But either way, you're going to face one of the two in the semis. So what goes into pushing past this adversity of they always make the finals, and what's going to take the Wheatley Sharks to the next level and get that finals matchup?
Well, I think we've started to buy in as a team a lot more recently, especially like this month for sure. Even though it's been like a really slow month for us. Like next month, I think we have 9 games in 23 days or something. So it's going to get us like right into playoffs basically. But if we all just buy in, like we know we're not going to go out there and sweep. Like we
Right.
talked about this the other day. I don't care if we win 1-0 4 times to win. Like it's not about like me. Like I don't care about the points and stuff. I don't care who's the leading goal scorer. Like we just all need to trust each other and do it as a team because that's what it's going to have to take.
Mhm.
Especially against those teams. Like I know those guys don't care to go look every day in the playoffs. Oh my god, I had a 4-point night. Like they're bought into a system.
Yeah, exactly. Or else they wouldn't be where they are right now.
Yeah.
You could tell there's other teams like that around the league, and those are the ones in the other divisions that are like they put up silly numbers, but yeah, okay, you're the one guy on your team that played AAA, and
Yeah.
now all of a sudden, oh, you're playing against like this. I don't know him as a person, but the Taichinov kid who leads the league in right now, him and this LeBlanc,
Yeah,
like
but those leagues aren't like I feel like Sobs is probably the best division. Not that
it has to be, because this guy's got
even
80 points in 31 games.
Jesus.
I know Spence is up there though.
Oh, Craig, as a D-man, yeah, 66 and 30 exactly. So over
That's
2
And he
points
was
a game.
nuts, man.
and he was
That is
suspended.
nuts.
I mean, but he got drafted to like the QJ or something, so he's in
He's
his
a
own.
unit too, right? Like he's a big boy.
Yeah, he's talented and he's smart. They don't take him off the ice. He plays
Mhm.
40 minutes a game.
Yeah, he's him and like they're a big team.
Yeah.
They're large men. Like they have the probably the biggest roster in the league. Like that first line is large. I don't know if Lemieux is back or not. I know he got hurt pretty bad, but
I haven't talked to Chittle that much. That's how I would know, but I haven't talked. Like I talked to him a couple of weeks ago about how Spence got suspended,
yeah.
but that's all I think he said he was out for a couple of months with his shoulder or something.
Okay.
But they are a big team. So whoever they have to play in the second round, like this is all saying the top 4 teams make it to the second round. Like both series are going to be tough for everybody.
Yeah,
Mhm.
exactly. Now, you guys have been pretty lucky though for the most part. You haven't really had an injury bug this year in Wheatley, right?
No, not that.
No. Well,
Like,
knock on wood, but
yeah.
I was just
like
about to
Well,
say, shit, dude, you're gonna
right
jinx it.
now we just have Hickson.
oh yeah, that's right, your 16-year-old. He's been
Yeah.
playing pretty well, eh?
He was, yeah, and then I don't know what his timeline is. It's his shoulder. I think he just got back on like skating, but in a tracksuit last week. So
Okay.
maybe playoffs. I'm not too sure.
Yeah.
Progress
You
though.
guys have a young
Yeah.
deep for.
Yeah.
I just realized that. Like quite a few rookies, eh?
Well, I mean, all of our OAs are on forward.
Yeah.
Plus, we got like Eaton, 03. Like all of our older guys are kind of up front.
Yeah,
But
so it's you, Hammer, Goody, and Catano, right?
yeah,
Yeah, okay. And that's a good
Not a bad group.
that's a strong top 4. Holy smokes.
yeah. Because like even before the season, it's like there's 16 spots in the area for this age group, right? So they got to choose wisely, like what they're gonna do with them. I know Essex had a problem because they had a ton of O2s and junior B card too at the same time.
Yeah, I'm surprised Essex made some interesting decisions in the preseason this year, but there's another guy. There was one other O2. I think he played AAA. You might recognize his name. He played Lakeshore a couple years ago, and I'm curious why he didn't play this year. Pizzo, Adam
Oh,
Pizzo.
I think he's in school. I don't know him
Okay.
personally, but I think he's buddies with one of my friends, and I mean I think he retired after they just won it all.
Why not?
Yeah, that's what I think.
Not,
I'm if
not a
I
bad way to go.
yeah I know
Going on
That'd be
top.
nice. Yeah, get your ring and we'll call it a day and get an education maybe.
yeah pull a Peyton Manning real quick and then we're good.
Yeah, can never go wrong with an education.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, he's yeah. I wouldn't hate the idea of it, but I have no choice.
Yeah. Well, I'm curious. We always talk about stuff within hockey, but we'll talk about the human outside of hockey. So, Ols, like, what are you doing for like? Are you doing education? Are you
No,
doing an
I'm
apprenticeship or
not doing much right now, to be honest.
any work? Where are you
I
working?
no, I just got out of I worked at a golf course, but I'm probably I'm gonna have to get another job, obviously, but I might just float 2 jobs throughout the summer, and
Oh,
then
Mike.
yeah, we'll see. I might go back to school next year because like I finished 2 years of business
Okay.
at the U,
Mm-hmm.
but then you have to specialize,
Right.
and then I didn't know what I wanted to really do because I'm not the best at accounting or finance, and those are the two like bread makers they call it,
Yeah.
opposed to like marketing and HR, like which are much easier, but it's very hard to make a good income off that, if that
Right,
makes sense.
because it's such a wide scope, right? It's not
Yeah,
really a okay.
but
But still, that's
I am doing my real estate license right now too, so that's what I do most days, to be honest.
smart man, smart man. Real estate's such a good business to go into.
It's
My
just
grandpa
good.
did it for years, and
Yeah, it's just good to have it like as a backup.
Mm-hmm.
Because let's say I do get a degree and then I have some, or vice versa. Like if I got my license and then I got a degree, like if my real estate wasn't working out well, fall back onto
Yeah, for sure.
whatever degree I have. Because I think I can switch credits around and go into something else, and then it would be. But it's like I don't know. It's hard.
that's
It's
smart though. Like you, when you do something like general business or whatever, like you did this before
yeah,
the specifications, there's a lot of options you have. Like you said, you could do a program transfer, and then you've got X
yeah,
amount of credits that
yeah,
carry over. And like I know a lot of my buddies did HK, and that's the same
yeah,
thing. It's so general that oh, you've done a couple science, a couple business, it can carry over to different things.
yeah.
But no, good for you, man. That's
There's
awesome. Real
there's
estate.
a lot of people stay in school for like a long time. I don't
Yeah.
know if I want to do that because it's
No,
like
I get it totally. Like I was last year, I was in I was doing education, general psych, and then I was like, well, I want to do history, so I switched back to the U. From I was at St. Clair for early childhood,
yeah,
went back to the U, switched to history, then I switched back to education this year. So it's just been jumping back and forth between things, and then I also want to do like management, sports management after,
yeah. That's
just like
always
you
a
said, to have a
popular
backup.
course, but it's like it's hard to like get a job out of that. I feel
It is.
it's
You
like
have to
it's
do it
like
with like journalism, and then you get like your writers, and
yeah,
you can go from there. It's a whole thing, but I kind of like what I'm doing right now, and I'm sure Ant does as well. Just working with the threes, and Mike Paley, the GM, told me, "Hey, whenever work in this org, get your foot in the door some way." So I did it
yeah,
through scouting, and then maybe that trickles down to a scouting personnel or something
yeah.
like that.
How's that? How's the announcing for you guys?
Lovely. I was like, Olsen, you get
Yeah, yeah,
slam shirky into the boards. I was like, oh, I wasn't expecting it because
yeah,
like you said, I hardly ever see you just go after someone. And then I
yeah.
saw him
No,
get blasted, and I'm like, oh. And the ref, I'm surprised the ref, and you got a suspension with that. That's wild.
yeah, because it was a
A lot
5.
worse happened, but
Yeah, if it, I don't know what the whole rules. I think if it was a 2, I would have been able to play. But then it was a 5, so it's a 2 game.
and
Oh,
what did they constitute the five with? Was it like intent to injure? or
Forwarding or checking from behind.
checking from behind? Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I mean, if there's ever a time that that term fits the
yeah,
bill,
it was.
might have been there,
yeah. Yeah. I'm not saying I'm not denying it.
Mhm.
but well, there you go. And I mean, aside from your junior career, you had said you kind of wanted to come on here and talk a bit, just in general, about the hockey world nowadays. So,
Yeah, I'm
what do
down.
you?
I'm
Yeah,
a sports junkie. So it's any
oh boy.
sport you could probably pick my brain with, to be honest.
All right. Well, we'll
That's-
start out with the big one that we were going back and forth on, Cutter Gauthier. I want to hear your opinions on this situation.
Oh, I think he's unreal. I don't. I know Drysdale's my age. Like he played for the Marlies, uh, 02, but why not take a flyer? I mean, on him, if you're Anaheim, you're just gonna
Yeah.
have to move somebody to the wing. Like if it's McTavish, Carlson, or Gauthier, it's probably gonna be McTavish though.
I'd
Maybe
imagine.
Gauthier, because I think Gauthier is like a sniper. Like my favorite player is Matthews, but he still makes. I know his apples aren't there, but he still makes plays.
Yeah.
He moves the puck really well. It's just that he's so good at scoring that he doesn't have so many assists, right?
Yeah, he's
Bappy.
gonna finish the year with the.
Yeah,
He's gonna finish the year with like a 70 goal, 30 assist stat line or something like that.
yeah, probably.
It's
I
gonna
think
be
he has like 38 and 15 or 16 right now. When I looked last night,
There's only one thing that I don't like about him.
what?
He hasn't dropped his gloves yet. The guy's fucking 6'3", 200 and something pounds. He would have dusted Steven Stamkos if they would have fought. I think he would have done good.
Yeah,
And everybody's like, "Oh, we don't want him to fight because he can get hurt." I understand that, but you have a star and a star. So if they would have fought,
yeah,
it's eye for an eye. You know what I mean? That was the only thing. Like the scrum's still going on. Why are you picking up equipment right now? Like leave it alone.
yeah.
Like everything's still going on. He's like grabbing sticks, and I'm like,
You just got
oh.
to give us. You got to give us a little bit of a break. Like that was the first time I actually remember seeing them win a series. So
Mhm.
That's awesome.
you guys got
I
a
just
couple
wanted him to
bucks
fight
twice,
once. I think
so.
it'd be awesome.
It would be
I couldn't see him fighting, to be honest. I don't know. It would kind of look weird, like unorthodox, like
Yeah.
just weird. It would depend on who, but he doesn't need to fight.
No. No.
It's kind
He
of
was-
like McDavid won't fight either. Why would
Yeah.
I could see McKinnon fighting maybe?
Yeah, he's a complete snap show, that guy.
Yeah,
Like, he's an animal.
yeah.
he's
No,
literally, yeah.
he's fun to watch. Like, and this is gonna be like kind of a hot take, but I think he's the best player in the NHL.
Mhm. He's
McKinnon.
damn
I
near the
agree.
top.
I agree. I'd even argue. Ooh, see, I don't know. For the longest time, I always was like, I don't like McDavid. I don't like McDavid. I was trying to suppress him, but like when I break down and like me and Olson were talking about this, just watching one guy for a game, and like you said, the positioning and just the way they're
Yeah,
like a shark almost, and they lurk.
yeah.
When you watch McDavid and his IQ, they played the Red Wings the other day. He scored a goal against us.
It was beautiful.
The amount of time, and so many people were like, "Oh, it's offside, it's offside." They didn't review. He waited to touch up,
I
like
didn't see
the
it.
exact second. It's just a thing of beauty. Like he
Yeah.
waits for the guy to touch up. Every player on the ice is complaining offside. No, the puck was passed by a Detroit player, so it negates offside. And the
Oh,
guy had
yeah.
just crossed the line, and he waited. You could see him peeking out of the corner of his eye, and then boom, takes off 2 strides. He's in on net and just undresses the goalie. And you're like, just guys like that are
Yeah.
take over the game. Like I'd have my top three would be, yeah, it'd go McDavid, McKinnon, Makar, probably. I'd have Makar in there for myself anyway.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I'm a Leafs fan, so I'd throw Matthews in the mix. I'd maybe, but it's it's weird because it's like for sure McKinnon and McDavid are top two, and then you could put like anybody you want. Like you could put Draisaitl, you could put Makar, you could put Matthews. If you're feeling bold, you could put Pasta. Like
Yeah.
there's Kucherov.
He's having a year.
Yeah. Well, he's been good. He just didn't play 2 years because they had to save some cap.
Mhm.
I don't I don't like yeah, that's right. Yeah, the big old shuffling of the cards. Oh, he's hurt again. What?
They're doing that with some other teams doing that. I forget somebody that just got put on LTIR, and he might be ready for playoffs. I was listening to it on the radio. I couldn't tell you.
I'm trying to think. I don't know. Leafs might have
No,
to do that come a couple years after the Nylander
no.
deal, but
Yeah, I don't know what they're doing. Like I don't know if I'm not mad about the contract. I'm just mad how they made the contract
yeah.
because Marner and Tavares are on the books next year for $11 million.
Mm-hmm.
If you were smart, you would have bridged it, gave Nylander 5 next year so you could keep all 4, and then disperse the other 6 million in random years, basically.
Yeah, exactly. You're exactly right. And when it comes down to it, you're like, I'm going to ask you this because you're a Leafs fan. His value is never higher. You know, he has contract things where he always comes out of it demanding things. Do you think
Yeah.
he's worth the 11.5 for the next 8 years, or do you think it would have been better if they traded him and got an absolute haul?
It's hard because he's playing well, but look at Cadre and like Huberdeau and these guys that got like contract year deals and they're okay now.
Mm-hmm.
They aren't doing great. Like if he shows up, then yeah, he deserves it. He's playing better than Marner, and he probably said he's making 10-9. I want more.
Mhm.
But I don't know. I think it's kind of weird that he got 2 more than Aho, like 2 more million a year too, because he's really underrated.
Mhm.
It's the Toronto's the problem.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean. If he didn't
Yeah.
play, if he played in like Anaheim, he would be getting like 8, 9.
Exactly.
It's just because all the lights are always on him. Like in the Caps going up, I guess 4 mil, I think.
Yeah.
Next year, so that might eliminate a little bit of it. But we need a goalie
And some
defense.
Yeah.
Like our forward, and we have too many guys that are on 1-year contracts.
Mhm.
Like Bertuzzi, 1-year deal. Domi, 1-year deal.
That's
So
right.
then what?
Domi. I
Yeah.
forgot you guys even had him. He's kind of that guy fell off hard after he left Montreal, but
Yeah. Bertuzzi has been the same players this year that he was in like Detroit and Boston.
Boston, he was cracked in
The
the
one deal
playoffs.
that shocked me, was the Ryan Reeves one. I'm like, you're giving him how much?
Yeah.
He
And we're
was.
probably going to buy him out next year or something.
Yeah, because he's been hurt because he skated into the boards.
Yeah. He was like, I think he was like a minus 25
That's
Oh,
insane.
with like 3 points at one point.
that's bad.
It's like you're a fourth liner. I guess like other lines are going to match you when you're on the road and you get like stuck out there for an icing. So maybe that's where they could get a few goals, but like 25, you're not even on the ice for 8 minutes a game.
High off the glass, Revo. Jesus.
Yeah.
High off the
That's
glass, drop your gloves. That's
I think
what I
Yeah.
need you to do.
I think I know who you're talking about when you said the guy who's on LTIR. Was it Vegas with Shea Theodore?
Maybe.
Because
That
I
would
think
yeah, 'cause then
Theodore's
yeah.
getting
No,
pushed to
it was
playoffs.
Was it Mark Stone?
it was Eichel.
Oh, okay.
Oh, well, they got Eichel and Theodore off.
Well, I think Eichel's week to week, but he's not on LTIR. But
Yeah.
he's one of those guys that I like to watch and like solo cam on because I think he's like the smoothest skater. Like if he watches like stride, it's like long as a table.
Yeah. I like
Every time.
him, and I also like Rupe Hint in Dallas.
Yeah,
His-
I like it.
his
Yeah,
skating. But he's kind of like more like a McKinnon, like the short crossovers.
yeah,
Like cuts the ice hard and builds a lot of like quad power.
yeah,
And well, Eichel's also really tall though, right? Like he's 6'3".
yeah. So
He's got a
yeah,
long strength,
there's
so.
2 different styles, right?
Mhm.
There's
Yeah.
the McKinnon, and then there's like I would consider McDavid his own style
Mhm.
because he just
Yeah.
skates.
Yeah.
Like it could be choppy, it could be smooth. He goes from 0 to 100 in 0.3 of a second.
It's crazy.
I just don't get how a guy's feet, hands, and his mind can all work that fast all at the same time.
Yeah,
Like, isn't that nuts? Like when you really
No,
like think
I
about how
get it.
fast he skates and how he stick handles and just how he thinks, it's like how would you think of that? Like, it's some of the moves he makes. It's like I would have never in a million years thought of that.
I know.
Hopefully the game continues to like get faster. I know like obviously like all the Michigan goals and stuff are like they're cool, but it's like I don't want it to get like too fancy. You want a little bit of toughness in it still, but like some of these guys coming up, like I'm sure Bedard's going to be great. But this generation right now, like the what is it, like 97 Matthews, McDavid, kind of like that era is probably like the best to come out of a draft yet.
For sure.
But I'm not sure how
Frickin'
Macklin
Bedsy,
and all
though.
those guys are going to be good.
Frickin' Bedsy, though. Pick your head up, kid. Jesus.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. What was that all about? I didn't.
He just
broke
got
his
rocked.
jaw?
He just come across
Yeah.
the blue line and he dropped his head, and Brandon Smith laid him out. Like, that's what everybody's like, oh, he's this. I'm like, it was a clean hit. His shoulder
Even
hit him.
though
Like,
their head coach said it was a clean hit,
yeah, like
Luke
pick your head
Richardson or
up,
whatever,
man.
he went on there and he's like, no, there was no malicious intent at all. He's like,
No.
Bernard's not tall. Smith is tall. He skated right into him. That's all it is. Like,
And full marks too, because him and Foligno had a nice freaking scrap after that too. And he stood in there, and he even said after the game, I think Foligno did. He even said, he's like, what Smith did, nothing was wrong. He's like, I gave him credit because when you hurt our guy, like we have to fight. Like there's not.
Yeah.
It's freaking hockey. If you hit our guy, we're coming after you. Like that's how it is. That's how it
and
goes.
even if you watch it, like Smith could have destroyed. It could have been a situation like when Paul Correa got pumped. Like,
Yeah.
Oh,
Bedard had his head right down looking at the puck, and if Smith wanted to, it could have been a lot more dangerous, but that is what it is. And
yeah.
Not really his
Well, I
style
mean,
of play.
that's a good welcome to the NHL moment. Just Jesus.
Welcome.
Sorry, that's my dog.
No, it's all good. Welcome to the NHL. Here's your jaw wired shut because
right,
you
what's your
can't
dog's
get your head
name?
up.
What's your dog's name?
Gin.
Gin?
Like J or Gin.
Like
Yeah,
like,
Gin. Okay.
like the booze.
Yeah, like we got it from somebody that was selling two, and one was named Rum and one was named Gin.
Yeah, that's cool.
So it's a
What
husky.
kind? What kind?
Husky.
Husky. Beautiful.
Just turned a year.
Oh,
Oh,
So
it's young, eh?
she keeps me in shape a little bit because I have to run her like every day.
I got an 8-year-old German Shepherd, so
You still running that thing?
she's a missile. She's probably about 100 and something pounds now. Marley's big. She's big dog. Do you have anything else for him, Tris? I'm all set.
Yeah. I gotta go take care of my dog now.
Well, I suppose that's a good way to close off then.
Yeah.
Shannon, it's been a pleasure, man. You're always welcome on the show. Like,
sure.
obviously, we'd love to have you on again.
Yep.
Dude, I'm happy we were able to get you on. Like, I love keep texting me back and forth. This wasn't just leading up to this interview. I love chat hockey in general. So does Ant. Like, feel free to shoot us a text, man. Like, we'll link up too sometime.
Maybe next time.
I have one closing question. I do remember. I did want to ask this. Me and Ant were just talking about this before the show. You're on a clean breakaway. All right. We'll just say for this sake, the goalie's anybody, any standard goalie. They're equal in every sense of their skills. We'll say where you should.
Probably low blocker.
Low blocker. Okay.
Like 6 inches off the ice.
Okay, because me and Ant were
but
just
like, do I get like to pump fake or just like a shot?
Just whatever you want. Like, what would you do?
Whatever you want. Yeah, like what would your choice be?
Because I used to be low blocker, but now I would probably take one forehand backhand stick handle and try to put it high glove. Do you know what it like kind of quick and then try to go up and beat them? But my go-to used to be low blocker because goalies weren't good at getting their blocker down in time if you shot it over the pad. But now they are. So I don't know.
I'm not that accurate.
I wouldn't do 5-hole. I'd have to make a move, then go 5-hole. And I try to stay away from the glove as much as possible.
You know,
see, that makes me want to shoot there.
Ant and I were just talking. I watched this guy on YouTube. He was breaking down like shots on this is like major junior up to the NHL level, the hot areas where goals go in. Now the best spot to go is actually low glove. Statistically.
Okay.
Apparently goalies, because of how tall they've gotten, like now they only draft goalies who are 6'2" plus basically.
Yeah.
They have a hard time getting their glove hand down because their stance usually has a high glove because so many guys for so
Yeah.
many years it was top shelf over the glove. Now they have a hard time getting down low, and it's like you said, that's 6 inches just above the pad and below the glove.
Yeah.
I guess it works. Like Matthews, all of his shots go there. I guarantee you, watch next game. That's where he shoots, man.
Mhm.
Okay. I missed some of the games because we had practice on Tuesday, but I did watch last night and he had like 9 shots.
Yeah.
Yeah. But maybe I'll try low glove on Wednesday when I
you go.
return.
Who are you playing against?
Moortown. So I'll
Oh,
try
have
on
fun.
your buddy.
Johnny
Chartran.
Chartrand.
Yeah.
He's back up to a 900 save percentage. He's pumped about that. But we'll let you go.
Yeah.
Take care of your dog.
Yeah. I appreciate it, guys.
Yeah,
Hey,
man.
well,
Good
thank
luck
you
the
so
rest of the
much,
way, eh?
Yeah.
Good luck. Go
Thanks,
Sharks,
guys.
eh?
Thanks,
Yeah.
buddy.
Go Sharks. See ya.
I've lost my fight with time. My numbers up and up the line. I gaze at the darkness, so empty, just looking for the light. Shout for help, but no one's there. Need a guiding hand, someone who cares. All alone in the darkness, I've realized for the first time I am scared. If I could do it all again, if I had one more chance, my friend, I would rewrite all my wrongs. I would find where I belong. I got lost along the way. I had so much more to say. If I could do it